And we talked at the top of the hour, yes, and Brian was actually right when he saying about talking about food, and that doesn't help. But it turns out apparently that diet drinks don't help us lose weight either.
Well, I thought we all knew that,
because a team of psychologists have found that drinking them actually makes people significantly more likely to turn to gut-busting snacks.
I can't see the point of a Diet Coke or a diet other drink or whatever.
Okay.
I mean, let's have the real thing.
Especially a gin and tonic with a gin and tonic.
I'm sorry, mate, but what about there are people who, for sugar, are having the excessive sugar we're having in our diet, and full fat Coke is just a big thing of black sugar.
I've got to lose a lot of sugar.
Oh, and salt as well.
I eat a lot of fruit, fresh fruit.
Now your Pepsi Max that doesn't contain any sugar, it's got lots
tastes
of nice,
horrible.
It tastes horrible, and it's got E numbers. And some of those E numbers represent chemicals that I can't even pronounce.
Talking about butter, which we weren't, but it's again, butter's good for you, butter's bad for you. Did you read in the paper this week? There's a company that actually developed a knife that melts butter. Because, we've all done that, haven't we? We've taken butter out of the fridge, and you try and you get a bit of it off to put on a bit of toast that's all nice and black, or especially new bread, it doesn't do it. But apparently this slippery little, this little knife actually, it makes the butter melt away, because the knife harnesses the warmth from the palm of your hand, so the blade glides easily through the butter and slides smoothly onto your toast. The designers have spread that blade. Oh, that's good. That was innovative, isn't it? So they developed a special heat transfer system that uses no electricity or battery, no heating or hot water, and it needs no time to warm up. The knife apparently has a copper alloy tube similar to that used to cool down computer processors. As soon as the knife is held, it draws heat from the hand and transfers it to the end of the blade. The copper is encased in titanium, making it slim and light, weighing in at just 2.91 ounces.
What does it cost? Does it say?
20,000. Oh no, that's
20,000 quid. And it heats up washing up water as well, probably. Then, doesn't it? If you put it in water, it must heat the water up.
It could very well do, but I mean, isn't that very clever? Just think, somebody's spent all of their life thinking about that, and they've now come up with this blade with the titanium.
And if it sells, good luck to them.
Yeah, whoa! Is it anybody going to buy it?
Well, there is another knife that you can buy for toast, which has got little holes along the bottom.
Really?
So that as you wipe the knife along the hard butter, it's forced through these little holes, which warms it up ever so slightly. And look, I have a picture of it.
Really?
I'll hold it close to the microphone.
We're on radio, Alan.
Yes, just hold it close to the microphone so everybody can see.
Oh, yes, it's got all little holes in it. I've never seen one of those.
No.
Oh.
This is the way in which...
Where do you buy that from, then?
Well, you buy it from the Toast Butter Knife Shop.
Ah, Toast Butter Knife Shop.
Yep.
What's a load of poppycock? Do you think anybody's going to buy it?
Well, I would buy one.
Oh,
would you?
I would certainly buy
You'd
one.
lose it, wouldn't you, in the drawer?
Oh no, I would use it. Because we actually sometimes we buy this soft butter stuff,
Buttery sort of stuff.
yeah, which is good for you because it's got olive oil in it. Or something, it's good for your complexion.
now I do love olive oil with bread. Balsamic vinegar, olive oil.
Oh, balsamic vinegar. I'm not a great olive oil person.
I went to a restaurant once and they served that to me, I don't know,
Oh, right.
15 years ago or something, and ever since then I've just been a fan. I have that at home on almost a daily basis.
But you're easily pleased, aren't you?
I certainly am easily
He's
pleased.
a simple lad, isn't he, he's Alan?
Yeah, simple.
Volunteers trying
Sums
to keep streets clean were barred from picking up rubbish because of health and safety fears.
Here we go.
Officials told litter pickers in Normanton in Derby to down tools as they were not trained to use them. Volunteer Dawn G said wheelie bins are also issued by the council. Does that mean that all residents in Derby should undergo moving and handling training to avoid personal injury?
Well, no, I think that's totally wrong. Of course, I mean, look, you could build up an entire industry. You could have, people who've been barred from using wheelie bins as a result of being drunk in charge of a wheelie bin. You could have people that have been accused of excessive speeding with their wheelie bins coming down the drive.
This is the interesting thing in this story, though, that the council, Derby Council, which didn't prosecute any of the Derby's 6,651 fly tipping incidents last year, said it was obliged to provide training. Spokesman Paul Robinson said if anything were to go wrong, we would potentially be sued.
Well,
what could go wrong?
I mean, that's the whole point of health and safety legislation, is that there are non-safe tasks, but the legislation actually says carry out a risk assessment. It doesn't say don't do it. It says understand the risks. And it makes me really angry when we get this tirade against health and safety, because people say, well, you don't do it because it's not safe. No, you should carry out a risk assessment about what are the dangers and prepare for those dangers. That's what the legislation actually says, and that's what we should be doing. But
does it go back to common sense again, though, whether it's dangerous or
absolutely,
not?
And there's too many people who take an absolutist view that because there's a danger, you mustn't do anything. What you need to do is to assess the risk. The safest place for a ship is in a harbour. But that's not what it was designed for.
Same with aircraft, isn't it? If it's parked up at a gate, it's quite safe. It actually catches fire, of course, with these newfound batteries.
Certainly a modern risk assessment would not allow cars on the road. I mean, you've got metal boxes hurtling in different directions with a possible impact speed in excess of 100 miles an hour.
Soon to be driverless as well.
Yeah, and soon to be driverless. Now, any risk assessment on that would actually instantly get rid of cars, roads, in fact, any form of transport.
But let's just go back, though, to that particular...
To horses and carts. And
they're dangerous. More people in this country die from horsing accidents than they do from motorcycle racing.
Let's go back to that original thing, though, because, all right, and Brian's quite correctly stated, and I won't argue with him, that it is the risk assessment involved. But picking up litter, there's... You can pick up old cartons, drink cartons and things like that.
And what about the syringes and needles?
Just going to say that, this is the thing, and even bits of glass. I mean, I saw somebody in a supermarket in Milton Keynes only last week. They'd got some bottles of wine on the bottom shelf, right on the corner. And, of course, everybody was going past with their trolleys, and I saw 3 bottles broken in that time because they were knocked off the shelf inadvertently. But along came the shop assistant and starts picking up these shards of glass in her hand, and putting them down. And I thought, I was going to say something, but I thought, no, I'll just wait till you bleed to death, love, and that's a health and safety issue, but there's the risk assessment.
Do you think that's the right approach, Mike? If you see somebody in danger, you say, no, I'm not even going to mention anything, I'd just rather than bleed to death. I mean, I'm not so sure that's a really sort of nice, kind Christian approach to life.
You wouldn't, would you? But the trouble is,
if I see somebody, facing imminent danger, I might go, excuse me, you're just about to face imminent danger. If I was you, I'd back away from that particular course of action. Mike Barry, go on, die.
I had an incident with my dear wife. She said to me, why did you stop at the motorway when you saw a car spin off, in the middle of the road, and a family sitting in it bewildered when they had a blowout? And I just automatically stopped and went to their aid. She said, why did you do it? You could have got hit by a car. I said, well, of course I could, but, there's people in danger. They could have got hit by a car more easily than me. I was, what do you do? You can't just leave people in that situation.
Particularly if you see children in that situation as well. I mean, it's a natural instinct of any bloke to go and help rescue a kid.
You say that, but a number of people didn't stop. I tried to wave down other people to help, and they didn't stop. They just swung round them,
They probably thought you were conducting a survey.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Yeah, we're doing
some research. I was doing that at the same time.
Doing some research, something like that. Yeah.
But again, going back to that story of litter picking, just down the road in Tinker's Bridge, there's a community group that has actually gone round and actually collected litter and done it with the support of the council, with the support of the local people.
Well, Marks and Spencer
Connor do a lot of that, and many estates around Milton Keynes have actually done that, and it's done with the support and
it's frequently done by politicians who are trying to get elected as well, because it's really good for their publicity.
Just to go around and pick up the rubbish that they
that's a good idea. I'll pick that one up.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. I did get 3 leaflets through, one from each of the parties, including the Liberal Democrats, and all 3 of them had litter picking as part of their community. Oh yeah, it was about 6 years ago, and it just made me laugh my head off.
But
I haven't seen all 3 the same.
Appearing on Loose Women. That's a new one.
Well, I know that if you are actually a budding mayor of Newport Pagnell, you get invited to these things. I'm quite envious because
he applied.
I'd like to be on a programme with lots of loose women.
Yeah, there weren't that many loose women.
They weren't.
It was more like mine.
But he was accompanied.
I was company, yes. I had my good lady wife with me.
By his own list.
It was most annoyed because you just saw the corner of her hair, And then somebody put on Facebook, well, at least you did her hair for it.
What I thought was funniest was the fact that your daughter suddenly saw you on TV and went, it's my dad.
Yeah, I know. That was just so coincidental.
Turn the TV off.
She just went home to...
I'm not him again. My wife had turned it off. Hello, we have sound.
Hello, we have a... Hey, good morning. We've got several listeners actually this morning. Good morning to Carol and Andy and Colin. And
that was the Liberal Democrats telling Alan to toe the party line.
Probably, yeah. 10 minutes past 9 o'clock here exactly. Talking about 10 minutes, or rather 10 minutes past 9 o'clock. Did you know at 10:43, go away Alan, you're making too much noise. 10:43, Britons tend to go to bed. That's exactly that time, 10:43, during the working week, but they get much less than 6.5 hours sleep, research claimed. Many adults don't think that they're getting enough sleep, with the average time being 6 hours and 28 minutes. Though most people retire early on work nights, 3 in 10 say that they would be more productive in their jobs if bosses allowed them to nap during the day. What time do you go to bed then?
I quite frequently don't go to bed until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
I rarely go before midnight. I don't think I've had a good enough day if I go to bed before midnight. Occasionally, after the show on Friday, I feel a bit knackered, so I tend to go to bed early on Friday night, ready for the show on Saturday, so I'm fresh and alert.
Oh, yeah.
No,
it really works out that way.
It's about midnight for me.
Yeah.
Because I watch the cycling and late at night and then go to bed.
Yeah. It's interesting because I used to be exactly the same. I mean, I was very much a night bird, and I'd love to watch the television and read the paper, do that sort of thing, and I was never seen in bed much before about 12:30,
Yeah.
unless I went home.
I can't go to bed unless I feel tired, unless there's other things to do.
Well, you could always read in bed.
No, I can't because I'm watching TV.
Now Now, sorry, I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen, in the background. The voice that you can hear shouting away is our researcher, and he's actually on the phone at the moment. But I don't think
what are you doing on the phone? You're noisy.
I don't think he needs a phone. Because he's.
It was my son ringing me up to wish me a happy birthday.
And say, "You're on the radio."
I said to him, "Do you realise you're now going out to a worldwide audience on Secklow Sounds Community Radio for Milton Keynes?"
What did he say?
He said, "What?"
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So we may have lost another listener then. Anyway, it's your birthday today. Congratulations and happy birthday to you. But getting closer to the 50, is it?
Yeah, it's getting. I'm nearly 45 actually.
Yeah, I thought would be.
I'll tell you what I am doing though. I'm going to have a special day today.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm being picked up in a stretched limo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you need to be, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Where's this then?
And then I'm going down to Hyde Park.
No.
And I'm going to watch a band called Earth, Wind and Fire.
Oh, they're brilliant. Have you seen them before?
Oh, Boogie Wonderland.
Yeah, I saw them with Phil Bailey.
Yeah.
I saw them at Wembley, and they were absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
Years ago.
I'm really looking forward to it. And then we do the last night of the proms.
Oh, brilliant.
No.
Is that tonight?
Yes, tonight.
Oh,
and
right.
Land of Hope.
And Glory.
Oh, I can't wait. And fireworks and everything. And I'm going to have drinks in a stretch limo. We've been picked up by the stretch limo and brought all the way back to Milton Keynes. It's a real treat, and I'm really excited.
So you should.
Not that pink one, is it?
So
I'm hoping so. I bring my feminine side out.
I can't quite beat you on that one, but at 11:15 this morning, I'm going to be picked up as well and taken somewhere. I'm going to be picked up in an old Austin 7.
Yes, which is all the police can afford these days.
Yeah, that's right.
Where are you off to?
I'm off to the muster.
Yeah, I was going to say you should be walking, not being picked up in a...
No, they know the old mayor, you can't walk that far. So I'm being picked up, taken to the muster, which is a tremendous event in Newport Pagnell. It's an annual event, and what they do is people can have a walk around the town. There are various walks, little walks and medium walks and long walks, And
it teaches you so much about the history of Newport Pagnell.
It does
and
indeed.
its garrison role in the Civil War.
Yep.
And another happy birthday.
Well, I've got people ringing me up all over the place at the moment.
Well, I'll just take your microphone out, So there you
Bye.
go. It's hi, goodbye. Yeah, as you say, Brian. Yeah, it's an historic event.
And
actually,
if people haven't been down there, they should go. It is well worth going to the muster.
It is well worth it, and I shall be there from about 11:15 onwards. I've got to do a walk as well. I'm doing a walk with a Carnival Queen. Yes, I will be wearing my chains.
So he gets very flushed.
I think he looks very, very cool in his mayoral.
So do I.
I photographed him wearing his mayoral garb yesterday.
People kept coming up to me